Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the 9 p.m. live English news edition, the top stories. Continued visit by new members of the government. Drones to deliver the doses in Ghana. Hello, welcome again. Welcome to our newsroom for having the news in details. The ambassador of the People's Republic of China in Djibouti, Mr. Zhou Huicheng, at the end of his mission in Djibouti, paid a farewell visit to the office of the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble. The two parties mutually congratulated each other on the bilateral relations and the effectiveness of the cooperation between China and Djibouti in the health field. The meeting was attended by the General Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Salah Bonaita, and senior officials of the Ministry of Health. Thus, the two parties discussed links to the various ongoing projects, such as the construction of the future regional hospital of Tajura, the Chinese medical teams working in our country, the fight against COVID-19, and vaccination were at the heart of the meeting. The Chinese diplomat did not fail to express his gratitude to the Djiboutian authorities for their support throughout his mission in the country and wished prosperity and happiness to the people of Djibouti. For his part, the Minister of Health wished Mr. Zhou a good return and a good continuation for the continuation of his career. Now, the Minister of Infrastructures and Equipment, Mr. Hassan Ahmed Ibrahim, continued his inspection tour of the various bodies and services attached to his ministerial department at its headquarters. During this tour, the Minister of Infrastructure and Equipment, Mr. Hassan Ahmed Ibrahim, visited the various directorates of the central administration of the Ministry of Infrastructure and Equipment and looked at the missions entrusted to each directorate of the ministry. The ministry was accompanied during this visit by high-level executive of the ministry, where he received a lot of information from the head of the department and institution affiliated to the ministry. Then the Minister of Infrastructure and Equipment, Hassan Ahmed Ibrahim, continues his tour of contact in the various bodies or departments under his ministry. The minister went yesterday very early to the technical base of the Djiboutian Road Agency located in the town of Balbala. Upon his arrival, Mr. Hassan Ahmed Ibrahim was warmly welcomed by the General Director of the Djiboutian Road Agency, Mr. Soubani Said, and his staff. During this trip, the Minister of Infrastructure and Equipment was accompanied by his close collaborators. The minister visited the premises, including the store of the ADR and the rolling stock of this agency, with the explanation of the General Manager of the ADR, Mr. Soubani Said. After the visit, the minister went to the meeting room where a projection was made for the occasion in order to present the the activities of this agency. In a brief welcome speech, the Director General of the ADR first congratulated the Minister for his reappointment. The visit of the Minister continued this time at the Central Laboratory of Building and Equipment. He was welcomed by the Director of the LCBE, Mrs. Rahima Ahmed. Without further, the Minister and his collaborators began the visit of the laboratory with the explanation of the General Manager. After the guided tour of the ministry, they went to the meeting room where a projection was also made to explain the noble work of this body. Recall that the LCBE's mission is to control materials and construction supplies imported or manufactured in the Republic of Djibouti. The minister delegate in charge of decentralization, His Excellency Qasim Haroun, continues his tour of the first contact with the decentralized entities with the local community of Djibouti. After the mayor's office of the commune of Razdika, the minister, accompanied by senior officials of his department, visited yesterday, Thursday, June 3rd, successfully the communes of Bulaus and Balbala. On his arrival at the headquarters of the commune of Bulaus, the first stage of this second day of initial contacts, Minister Qasim Haroun was warmly welcomed by the president of this commune, Mr. Mohammed Omar, surrounded by his elected officials and his staff of the communal administration, as well as the heads of the neighborhoods and representative of civil society. Also present at the reception was the mayor, Mrs. Fatima Awali Osman, elected official of Bulaus. The minister met with the president of the commune. He then visited the various departments of the commune. Minister Qasim Haroun Haroun and his delegation then moved to the headquarters of the large municipality of Balbala, where the new minister also received a very warm welcome from the president of the said municipality, Mr. Idris Bashir, surrounded by his executive, his elected officials, the staff of his administration, as well as representatives of the civil society. Minister Qasim stressed to his interlocutors the need to redouble effort to improve the local services provided to our fellow citizens on a daily basis, but also to invest more in activities to promote the cleanliness of the environment of their municipalities. Another news now, this Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021 at 11 a.m., the 6th promotion of the International Training Courses of Perfection Investigator closed the training, which began on April 14th, 2021, around the ceremony Rich in Colors, which was held at the International School of Perfection to the practice of the judicial police. Shared by the Deputy Prosecutor General, in this case, Mrs. Leila Mohammed Ali, the event was attended by His Excellency, the Ambassador of the Democratic and Federal Republic of Ethiopia in Djibouti, Mr. Ibrahanu, the Prosecutor of the Republic, Mrs. Lamis Mohammed, the Prefect of the Region of Arta, Mr. Sheikh Mohammed, the President of the Regional Council of Arta, Mr. Ilmi Bouh, the Defense Attaché at the Ethiopian Embassy in Djibouti, the Colonel Commander of the Coast Guard, the Colonel representing the Director General of National Security, representative of UNFD, representative of Organization of the United Nations System, and several senior officials of the National Gendarmerie. On this occasion, all 21 participants from 13 countries of Africa and the Indian Ocean received their diplomas and badge for the hands of officials. At the end of the trainees and the officials posed for the traditional family photo before being received by Colonel Zakaria Hassan Aden, the Chief of Staff of the National Gendarmerie in the Hall of Honor of the Conference Center, where he met with them. Colonel Zakaria Hassan Aden did not fail to congratulate the trainees for their excellent result and took the opportunity to give each of them a gift before moving on to lunch offered in their honor. During this ceremony, the president of the promotion took the floor after the reading of the Holy Quran to summarize the training program that the trainees have followed during the past 7 weeks before thanking the various authorities for having honored the ceremony with their presence despite their professional constraint. The school commander, Lieutenant Colonel Hussein Mohammed Qayyad, also gave a speech in which he highlighted the authenticity of the training and the attendance of the trainees. He also thanked the local international partners who actively participate in the instruction and contribute greatly to the development of curricula of the EI3PG. For her part, the Deputy Public Prosecutor gave a speech in which she mentioned the significant increase of irreproachable quality procedures of the OPGs in the Public Prosecutor's Office, adding that in addition to the experience of the latter, it is without any doubt these quality trainings which contribute to the improvement of the procedures. As well as the Global Week of Evaluation to the Performance of Public Administration, the Djibouti Association for Evaluation organized a day of exchange and reflection on the evaluation mechanism of public administration at the Sheraton Hotel. This event lasted 3 days, starting last Tuesday and ending Thursday. It also took place in the presence of many high-level executives from various ministerial departments, international experts, and representatives of international organizations operating in the country. Also, administrative personalities of public administration, including Secretary General of Ministries, General Directors of Public Administration, heads of administrative units, and administrative consultants from various international companies recognized in the field of evaluation of administrative activity participated in this workshop. In an address to the President of the Djibouti Association for the Evaluation of Administrative Activities, Mr. Khalid Nagib, expressed his pleasure and joy to have organized this workshop related to the evaluation of public administration affairs. Another news, a dinner party was held last night on board the warship of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan in the ports of Djibouti. The event was organized by Captain Atif Sultan, commander of the Pakistani warship, numerous Djiboutian parliamentaries, including the MP raising the commander of the Djiboutian Coast Guard, Colonel Omar Wais Baghore, the commanding officer of the Djiboutian Navy, the officials of the foreign armed forces installed in Djibouti, officials, the members of the Pakistani community in Djibouti, the Pakistani diplomats participated in the evening on board the Pakistani warship. The guests were greeted by the active Captain Sultan and his staff, who welcomed all the guests. The guests were accompanied by the Pakistani sailors dressed in the Pakistani color uniforms. The national anthem were played for the evening, which was intercepted with the call to prayer. The evening began with the projection to discover the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, followed by an address of the active Captain Sultan, who thanked Djibouti on behalf of his crew. We also thank the President of the National Assembly, Mohammed Ali Hamid, who came in the morning with a group of the parliamentarians. Like the other regions of the country, today all the students of the 9th grade in the region of Ali Sabih were invited to compete in the test of BAF. For 165 candidates from the region of Ali Sabih took part in the test of the BF in 3 centers: Ali Sabih, Holhol, and Ali Adde. A delegation led by the Prefect of the region, Mr. Musa Aden Amigane, accompanied by the head of the regional service, Mr. Ahmed Hamadou, as well as the president of the jury, Mr. Garad, supervised the smooth running of these tests. On site, the delegation met with the head of the center, Mr. Ahmed Abdul Qadir, and ensured a number of parameters essential for the smooth conduct of the test. It should be noted that the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training has taken all the necessary measures to ensure the smooth running of the test. Moving on to international news, how do you get vaccines to isolated areas that are unreachable by road or to region on the grip of armed groups? One solution is to use drones. First, you have to determine the number of people to be vaccinated and indicate the delivery point. Then you load the drone, and in a few dozen minutes later, the package is dropped at the meeting point. According to their designers, these drones can carry out their delivery missions within a radius of 80 kilometers. So far, more than 25,000 doses of vaccine has been distributed in Ghana. In Africa, Rwanda, and Nigeria are the other 2 countries where the American company Zipline is developing these vaccine deliveries by drone. This is it for this edition of 9 p.m. Thank you for watching us and have a wonderful evening.